Yo, what's up, peeps? It's your boy Moods. It's a contest entry for Hellcat Reviews, 100 sub contest. I just realized I don't remember what you're giving away, buddy. I'm sorry. But I do remember the question. You were looking for your top 5 subgenres in the horror realm. It's actually quite easy for me. Basically just thought about, the type of films that I watch the most. I mean, my top 3 were already there. Like, I didn't really even have to think about it too much. The other 2, I guess I didn't really have to think all that much, but, it can go either way, between 5 and 4, but, starting number 5, my top, or my 5th favorite subgenre, would definitely be like vampires. Sometimes I think that I'm not like the biggest vampire fan, but then I find myself watching vampire films all the time. I really like old films, like I like the old Christopher Lee ones and stuff, and like Horror Dracula, really good film. Taste of Blood of Dracula, Dracula Risen from the Grave, and Dracula AD, 1972, or Dragula, I should say. Yeah, like these films. My favorite vampire film of all time, though, is the 19, I believe this is 31. Yeah, 1931, Bela Lugosi, Dracula. This movie has such a creepy atmosphere to it. Bela Lugosi is just fucking, he's amazing, man. I couldn't imagine watching this film back in 1931. It must have been pretty fucking something special, man. But yeah, just a really good performance, good atmosphere. I'm just a really, really big fan of this film, man. Really like it. Number 4 would be werewolves. It's the subgenre of werewolves. Been fascinated by werewolves for a long time. I'll just show a couple here. One of my favorite ones is the original Ginger Snaps. Actually, the whole trilogy is really good. Really good fucking movies. If you've never seen these, definitely check like this one and the sequels out. The third one actually is a prequel to the series. But yeah, just done really well. Good performances. Just awesome fucking shit right there. One that I find gets shit on a lot. I fucking love this movie. Is Wolfen. Yeah, a lot of people. I think this movie is a little misunderstood. At times, maybe people aren't getting the subtext of the film. But yeah, it seems to be, what it comes down to with a lot of people is that it's a different type of film. It's not exactly what you're thinking it's going to be. But I'm a really big fan of this film, and it also came out my favorite year of horror, which is 1981. So that kind of helps it out too. But just a really great film. I really enjoy it. But my favorite one of all time, it's kind of cliche, but I can't really help it. An American Werewolf in London. Just fucking amazing film. Everyone's seen this film. I don't really need to talk about it too much, but yeah, we all know about the transformations and stuff. Just fucking awesome shit. For number 3 in the subcat of horror, would definitely be anthology. I don't know if I'm making up the subcat right now, but if I am, fuck it. It's a subcat now. Anthology films, I'm a fucking... If you ever watch my channel, I always talk about how much I love anthology films. I think I did my top 10 anthology video a while back. Yeah, just a really, really big fan of them. Just can never get enough because I love short stories and like reading short stories. So short stories on film, amazing. That's Trick or Treat. Awesome, awesome fucking film. I just pulled out a couple here, like, Tales from the Hood. This is another one that I fucking love so much. Just a really, all the stories in it are good, and it takes place, of course, in the hood. It's a different type of, atmosphere for an anthology film, but yeah, really fun stuff. And of course, my favorite one of all time is Creepshow. I could watch this film every single day. Just love it so much. So awesome. So number 2 in my top 5 subcats would definitely be zombie films. Something like Dead Pit. This is a really unique zombie film. just fucking great atmosphere, great zombies, great kills. Everything about this film is just awesome. It's just, I love the atmosphere of this film so much. It's such a fucking great thing. One of my favorite ones, just a film I could watch. I watch this film probably every couple months, to be honest. Dead Alive. It's just, everybody knows the end of the movie, how fucking gory it is and ridiculously over the top, but it's just so much fucking fun. Such a great film by Peter Jackson. And of course, my favorite zombie film in this subcat is Dawn of the Dead. I've talked about this a million times. Everyone's seen this film. Fucking love it. But my favorite category in the subgenre of horror would be slasher films. Definitely slasher films. You know, shit like Intruder. Just fantastic. I mean, slashers is something I grew up on. You know, I grew up on slashers. Like, my dad really got me into horror movies. The earliest ones I can remember was probably Fright Night, which is a good vampire film, which I should have brought out. But then slasher films in the 80s, just, I always remember like the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th films, and of course Nightmare on Elm Street, which I could never get enough of, especially Part 3. Dream Warriors is my favorite one. But those type of films always had a special place with me, and I could never get enough. And then, you know, Intruder, which is just fucking amazing. Everything about this film is awesome. The setting of the film, which takes place in a grocery store, but the kills are just magnificent. But it's the setting that really does it for me in this film, because there's not a lot of films that take place in a grocery store. And I'm a really big fan of, like, you know, looking around, you know, in what's in the background and stuff. And I love when they're by the cereal aisle and you can see all this different types of cereals. I'm a huge cereal fan. So I really like that. I think that's amazing. But this is a fucking killer film. No pun intended. Yeah, speaking of killer films, Killer Party, I always have to say thanks to Vance Spalding 6'9" for recommending me this film, because this is slowly or very fastly become one of my favorite slasher films of all time. This is such a unique film. If you've never seen this film, you should run out and grab this one. It's not overly that cheap, though. I think you still have to pay about 10 or maybe 12 bucks for it or something. But like Vance said, it was worth it, and I'm saying it's worth it. This is a fucking amazing film. It's nothing like you've ever seen. It's really good, really great. And one of my favorites, I have a hard time breaking down to my favorite slasher film of all time. The first one that always comes to mind, or a couple that always come to mind, is like, you know, Dream Warriors and Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Friday the 13th Part 4, you know, for the big franchises, Halloween, of course. Besides the big franchises, I would have to go with either like The Burning or Maniac. I love this fucking film, man. It's just so awesome. One of my favorite scenes ever in a horror film is, you know, Tom Savini's death in this film, that he gives himself the shotgun blast to the head, where it just explodes his fucking head in the car. It's fantastic, man, fantastic. But great film, great performance by Joe Spinell. Awesome shit, man. Yeah. So slashers my number one in my subgenre. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to Hellcatmoviereviews, definitely subscribe to him. He's a cool guy. But yeah, deserves more subs for sure, man. Like, for sure. So definitely sub. I'll leave the link down below. Alright, Mood616 signing off. Peace, buddy.